Thank you very much, Dr. Cooley, for your outstanding presentation, particularly the comparison of Sangam and Ganj Qarun, which were the very first two movies that I have seen in Iran. I was really impressed with the kind of dialogic relationship that is there, and with the focus that you have on the soundscape. I was wondering whether the concept diasonic as like dialogic would not be an appropriate concept for analyzing this sort of interplay of sounds, or the dialogue of sounds as diasonic, as again instead of dialogic.
I love that, especially since, kind of finding frameworks that capture, sort of what I'm trying to kind of unravel in looking at these exchanges, and sort of this focus on this more relational aspect within kind of these soundscapes. I think that's a really appropriate term. And I'm embarrassed to say, has someone theorized this before? And I just have not heard it before.
No, I just made it up.
So I'll have to, it's a wonderful term. I will have to explore it further. I love that. So I think that that's a really appropriate, like I said, it really kind of focuses on, exchange and kind of haggling and all of those sorts of interactions that I'm trying to capture. Thank you for that wonderful idea.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, I'm sure there are a whole lot of questions. I know Professor Nushin, Ladan Nushin is a specialist on soundscape. Professor Nushin, if you're hearing us, please feel free to jump in.
Thanks so much, Claire, for your paper. Sorry, it's rather late here in the UK and I'm a bit brain dead actually, so I'm not sure I have any coherent questions to ask. I mean, I think you're very brave actually to use the soundscape notion, because it's been so problematized in recent years within sound studies. And Schaeffer's original conception has been used in so many different ways. So I think I need to get my head around how you're using it and think about how that relates to how it's being used in sound studies. But yeah, certainly very interesting. I had one question which was around, I mean, obviously there was a sound designer or somebody who was responsible for the overall sound conception for this film. And I wondered, are there archival resources on that? And how much do you know about the kinds of discussions that went on, or are you simply working with the text as is and the sort of newspaper reports from a production point of view? Yeah,
I'm only focusing on the texts and newspapers, but I think that's a wonderful, I'm thinking about like Kaveh Askari's new book, in which he's actually kind of looking at these scores and compiled found sounds, and so and in doing so reveals kind of a dimension of exchange that I think that would enrich. So I think the only thing that I've really kind of and I mentioned this at the end, and I'm similarly a little brain dead because I'm in Cairo, so it's 11 my time. But I think it was really revealing to hear about Fardeen and his involvement with the creation of the song as Hind Umadam, as like I come from India. But I think that that's a really good point. So I've published a bit on this, but it's going to be part of my book project. So it's a dimension that I'm excited to kind of explore more in my book project. Thank you for that.
I mean, can I just add, thank you for doing this work, because as you know, there's a big literature on Iranian cinema, but actually relatively little on sounds. There's very few of us who are working on sound. I mean, probably more people now gradually, but sound is such an important part of this. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I actually just comment, you just tapped into my deep memory by playing some of the sound, and sound is so essential to sort of recovery of memory in a sense. based on this experience that I had as you were presenting. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering because when we were talking earlier and I asked you what you remember of seeing the film and you said the music. So I was wondering if any would come back to you. So that's really wonderful.
Particularly, Umadam az Hind Umadam. Well, if there are no questions, and I know it is really late in Cairo, we can bring the session to an end. And please, everyone, join me to thank Dr. Cooley for her outstanding presentation.
Thank you for all attending. And thank you again, Mohammed, for organizing.
My pleasure. And thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And have a nice weekend.